Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ohio State Call-In Show here at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy, and thankfully, my man Mike hit me up. He's here today. Also, Mike, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? How we doing?
And if you didn't already, everybody, make sure to check out yesterday's episode of the World Famous Buckeye Show with Mike and Terry, as always, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Even if you are family, friend, or foe, we have everything for you here at the Voice of College Football, whether it be Oklahoma, North Carolina, Oregon, or even the team up north. And if you would like to also check out our website at www.vocfb.com, where you can check out all the things that we have, all of our hosts, all the writers, check out the schedule that we have each week. It's all there for you. Now, Mike, a couple storylines I want to touch on here. I think most importantly, we should talk about some of these guys losing their back stripes. Devin Sanchez, Riley Pettyjohn, CJ Donaldson. They did that this week. I think it was only a matter of time for Donaldson. But, and I think it also was for Pettyjohn and Sanchez, man. Very proud of those guys, those young men. It's that Donaldson, coming over from West Virginia. Think all three of them are going to make an impact this season, man. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, just definitely good to hear about those guys getting their black stripes off. Devin Sanchez, we heard really good things about him. And definitely Riley Pettyjohn, especially all the things that you hear coming out the linebacker room just confirmed everything that I saw and what I have been telling everybody when I got to see him in person. So I'm not shocked at all about what I'm hearing about Riley. This is what I was expecting, and this is why, last year after I saw him, I went on the record and said this is a can't miss prospect.
Mm-hmm. No, man, from the get-go, you have been conducting the Riley Pettyjohn train. And I mean, you saw me the way Arvell Reese was talking about him, man. Talk about the specimen that he is, how smart he is. And he's a big kid. Don't get twisted. And Arvell said he's sideline to sideline.
Facts.
And I think when you look at the development that James Laurinaitis has done in that room already with the players that they have. I mean, I think people forget, Tarvas is still in that room. And he was a top 15 linebacker also. And so, no, I'm very excited, man. I'm really happy. Also with CJ Donaldson, coming out of West Virginia, back-to-back 700 plus yards for him coming out of there. And for me personally, I think he's one of the more underrated players right now in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
This is not me saying, of course, that he's as good as Judkins, right? But when Judkins came over, I actually people pointing out his yards per carry, and I'm like, well, you do know that at Ohio State, this is going to be the best offensive line he's ever played with, right? And it's the same thing with CJ Donaldson. And so I'm really excited to see what he can do in this offense.
Yeah, man. I'm very excited to see what he can do. Yeah. And you see CJ Donaldson got nominated for the Doak Walker Award as well. So, I mean, he's on that watch list as well. And, just hearing Coach Locke on the mic'd up, man, it's just different. And I was talking to some guys in spaces, and, we was talking about Travion Henderson and just the difference that you saw. Like, if you watch film of Trey before Coach Locke, it's completely different.
Yep.
His run style, his vision looks better, just his aggressiveness. And one thing that Coach Locke, you even heard him in the mic'd up session, was saying speed to power. And we always saw that from Travion. And apparently you're hearing it from the NFL as well. Von Miller found out the hard way.
He did. Oh, man, that's fine. I saw that clip. That was crazy. And something else, man. So I want to read this here from Matt Patricia. And this was him specifically talking about Caleb Downs. He said having players like that can go inside, outside, maybe line up in some different alignments really makes every offensive lineman that we have play against prepare for you. Of course, there's been some talk, man, about him going down to the nickel. And I'll tell you what, if you look at that nickel position for the last few years for Ohio State, I think that's been one of the most underrated positions that we've had. I really think if you put – and listen, man, Caleb, of course, can go back to the free if need be. He can play strong if need be. But I honestly believe if they put him at nickel, that's the best place for him to be. Because not only can he still cover, whether it be a wide receiver, slot, tight end, he's still in the box. And he's one of the most dangerous players in the box. What are your thoughts on moving over there?
Moving him there, I think that it says, what does it say more about Malik Hartford and Jalen McClain that you're like, man, we also have to get these guys on the field with this athletic specimen as well. So that's where we know Caleb Downs and everything that he can do and the way we can utilize him. We got to see that in the playoffs, right? What my thoughts go to is Jalen McClain and Malik Hartford, because like everybody talk about, hey, what we lost, we lost Lathan Ransom, but you talk about a Malik Hartford who battled injuries most of last year. This guy's going to be a junior,
right?
Jalen McClain got some rotation and actually got a start when someone was down, so he got some reps as well. These guys aren't coming in here as just just rookies. These guys are coming in as vets, maybe first time starters, but they're still vets.
And then a few other people on the things I want to talk about. We're going to drop the link here in a bit, everybody. We just want to go through these topics real quick, hit these storylines for the Buckeyes. Austin Sarabeld. Now, last year, there was a point where I'm not going to lie to you. I'm on wax saying this. I said, I don't ever want to see him on the field again. I did say that. But, he comes in this year, right? And he wins Iron Buckeye, which says a lot about you, first off, and what your teammates think about you and what Mick thinks about you. That which carries a lot of weight. Then, about 2 months ago, we're still trying to figure out between Sarabeld, Tegra, and Phillip Daniels where they all going to be placed. And they outright said, Austin Sarabeld is going to start. Whether it be right guard or right tackle, he's going to start. And now he's been getting left tackle reps. And clearly, I'm happy to hear this, of course. And I take back what I said, Austin. I was wrong. I'm an idiot. He's taking that jump, it looks like. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, all of what we've been hearing about Sarabeld this offseason has been positive. Seeing him being dude of the week. I believe he's also Iron Buckeye as well. Just everything that this young man is doing is everything that you want to hear. But I was not expecting to hear that he's been taking reps at left tackle. And it kind of got me concerned, because what that started making me think was like, well, I did hear that, CJ Hicks was kind of abusing our guy at left tackle.
Right.
And, maybe Austin's not the type of person who gets abused that way. And one thing that you have to do in football is protect the quarterback's blind side. So it kind of got me a little worried there for a sec, but I mean, we'll see. I think that this offensive line is going to be really good this year. So,
and then also Lincoln Keenholz was Iron Buckeye. I'm not surprised with that. And Lincoln spoke to it. He said, when you're trying to win over your, I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're teammates, but you're still a competition, right? He talked about, if you want to be a starting quarterback, you do have to earn the respect of your teammates, and that's one way to do it, right? Then again, I'm not surprised that Lincoln did that. I think he's a really, really good athlete. I'm pretty sure he's a hard worker. Not pretty sure. Clearly he's a hard worker. I'm excited for Lincoln. And whether he starts or he doesn't, I still think that he's going to get on the field no matter what. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm hoping to see Lincoln out there. Like we spoke earlier, way early in the season, myself and you. It was like, if he isn't the starter, at least get him out there in a Bo Pabula role or something. And it's just everything that you hear about him being an athlete, the freaky things that he can do. And it's just, you hear the guy just doesn't take L's. He doesn't take L's. And it's almost in every other sport other than, this game football, whether it's basketball, who's the first people that everybody want to pick? It's Lincoln. Softball, and who's everybody picking or was saying is probably going to win it? Lincoln's probably going to win it. It's just, what is this guy not good at? And so, you say that it's actually a battle. Maybe it is. And I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this, because one thing I felt Urban Meyer did was a disservice to Cardell Jones and JT Barrett in that quarterback battle is because he could not. It was two different offenses that you needed to run for those type of quarterbacks. Tom Herman understood that. And my thing is maybe is that something with Lincoln? Like Lincoln just runs the offense different, and is efficient that way. And Sand runs the offense a different way and might be efficient that way. And they're being efficient in their own ways. Obviously, guys have bad days or make mistakes, but maybe they're efficient in their own ways, and that's what's keeping this a battle.
I'll tell you, I think Ryan Day right now, the fun part about this is that, you got Lincoln, you got Julian, and to be honest with you, I can care less who starts. I think they're both gonna be fine, right?
Facts.
But the question is for Ryan Day right now and Brian Hartline, with Julian, do you want the C.J. Stroud, Dwayne Haskins offense, or with Lincoln, do you want the Justin Fields, Will Howard type of offense? Which one do you want?
I want the Justin Fields type of offense. I miss that, man.
Hey, man, hey.
I mean,
you know what's funny about that, Mike? I think people forget this. If you look, I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. If you look at the record books, the number one offense of all time in college football is the 2019 LSU. Number 2 is 2020 Alabama. I think number 3 is 2019 Ohio State.
I mean, it was just like, here's the thing that Ryan Day even spoke of when he was talking about Justin Fields. He was saying that Justin Fields didn't really get the playbook down all like that. He said what Justin Fields was able to do was he was able to be effective with his legs, right? You're talking about if the defense is worried about the quarterback running and you leak out from the pocket or you start to run towards the line of scrimmage a little bit, that forces a DB to come down. Boom, you got a wide receiver off the top open, right? It's just those different type of things just puts defenses in conflict, whereas you got C.J. Stroud, who is athletic and can run, but was being put on the leash by Ryan Day. I don't think you wanted that because what did you see everybody doing? Drop 8, drop 9, just rush 3. Like, I mean, I don't want that. I don't want people to be able to do that. And if you feel like you can go ahead, then we'll put an athletic quarterback out there that'll make one guy miss and go ahead and get 5+ yards.
Man, so actually, before we take these calls, I want to answer this question from Aaron. He goes, do we think this offense can top 2021 or 2022 with C.J. Stroud?
Is he saying if C.J. Stroud was on this team?
No, like can this offense? Can it surpass that? This offense.
I mean, it's all dependent on the quarterback and what the quarterback can do. Because I mean, you already have one of. I mean, I don't want to use the term lightly, but it just is what it is. Jeremiah is generational.
Yes.
I know a lot of people wanted to call Marv generational, but I didn't feel that way. I feel that
I agree with you.
JJ is generational for sure. So I mean, why not? You're talking about with Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, these guys were known for winning championships together in 7-on-7. I mean, also C.J. Stroud didn't have a defense in 2021 or 2022.
Facts.
So,
and just adding to that, I mean, a lot of people, they keep talking about, these quarterbacks haven't done anything, they haven't played well. I think people forget that when C.J. Stroud came in 2021, he had never thrown a collegiate pass, never. And so, maybe it could. You never know. You gotta. We had the wide receivers for it. Don't get it twisted. Like I think at the top 3, I think 2021 had better wide receivers, but the depth it's pretty. I think it's pretty on par. And also I think Carnell Tate is getting completely slept on. I I don't understand it. But
Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis. It's cool.
And Mylan Graham.
Also, C.J. Stroud had Case Stover as his tight end. No offense.
Yeah, that's true. And shout out to Jelani, boy, that catch.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if we're a long way, man.
If we're in 12 personnel, bro, and you got Max Clare to worry about, you got Jelani the third worry about, you have Jeremiah to worry about. I mean, you're putting a safety or linebacker in conflict either way. And one thing that I also was hearing about Lincoln is like those slant routes. They say like he get them through some windows and he putting it right on the money. So, I mean, he do that and somebody take one to the crib. I love to see that.
Let's bring our first call here. My guy Thunder Redmond from the team up north. I said Thunder Red. How you doing, bro? Hey, what's going on, bro?
Good. That conversation. I don't think that this year's team could be could be better than the two the C.J. Stroud had his first year. He went to the Heisman finalist. He came in second. He came in third place his first year. The second year he was a Heisman finalist back to back, and Caleb Williams had beat him his second year. So for them for Junior Saint to be better than to be better than to see that Stroud. So not only he had to be invited to the Heisman finalist ceremony. He has to win the he can't just get there. He has to win the Heisman.
I'll tell you what.
And beat Michigan.
I'll tell you what. I think that Jeremiah has pretty high Heisman odds. If Julian, I don't care who the quarterback is at Ohio State, but I think really if it's Julian, because I do we throw the ball more. I wouldn't be surprised if Julian ended up in New York. I think the offense is going to hum more than people think. It's going to take a couple of weeks, but I think once it gets going, I think there's too much talent. Or like I've said this before, I think there's a lot of safeguards around our quarterbacks and Brian Hartline, specifically the talent. Guys like Tyler Bowen, who has been a play caller before, and who's been one of the best guys when it comes to conducting a run game. And at the end of the day, listen, as long as Ryan Day is the head coach at Ohio State, I am never going to worry about an offense here. And the defense is better. The defense is going to be better than 22. That 2021 defense is trash.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. As a team, I think that it can be better. Your offense-wise for C.J. Stroud, he had to basically do everything. We struggled a lot in the run game most of the time with him, other than, Trey did his thing his freshman year. But for the most part, like, we struggled in the run game a lot as well. I'd say another thing is CJ Stroud had to throw a lot. Maybe our quarterbacks might not have to do those things and we could be much more balanced. And that doesn't mean that the offense is bad or isn't better. So I think we'll just have to see. But it does have the potential to be better, especially if this run game is supposed to be as dominant as it is. And if we're seeing that burst that we saw out of CJ Donaldson in the spring game, if we see that in real games, I think a lot of people can be sleeping on that young man for sure.
And Kerry Combs ain't the defensive coordinator.
You know that your Oregon buddy, he said on
Grim? You talking about Grim?
on Twitter, and you wasn't there the listen, but I heard it the other day. Now he said that the Rose Bowl, that's going to be the last time his team is ever losing to the Buckeyes, and he guaranteeing the wins for the rest of his life. Guaranteeing wins, no more losses against the Buckeyes. I was like, wow. Then the girl saying he might not like that at all.
Why everybody tell me about what Garrison be saying in his spaces? It's always the most craziest, outlandish stuff when I'm not in there, bro. I don't understand how I always miss this, but apparently when I'm not in there, He say the craziest stuff. Everybody tells me this, but I'm always missing it. I'm gonna have to go in on Anonymous or something one day.
But Mike, hold on, Mike, you act like you new to this. I came in hot saying Kyle McCord and Troy Smith when y'all first met me. You know me.
Bro, we had to light you up, man. We lit you up. We let you have it.
I got kicked out the space. That was funny.
Got your mic taken. Next caller.
Hey, y'all thought I didn't know football, man. That was crazy.
Hey, for sure.
How do you feel about they moving the Austin the left tackle because there was some games last year where he the way he had cost them a game. He didn't. Okay, but when it wasn't a big game, he played at right, but at right tackle, but pretty good. But when it came to Texas, Michigan, the Oregon game, the first Oregon game, Nebraska, and in Penn State, he struggled. So I was wondering why they moving him to left. I think that you moving him to left and he haven't played left tackle before, he might struggle. But y'all know the more about Ryan Day than me, so.
Might go ahead and take that.
I think what's the difference is you basically have 4 offensive line coaches is the difference, right? This year versus last year. You had when you're talking about, and then also what Ryan Day has been saying, and what a lot of people who went to the open camps was saying is there's 2 fields. There's 2 fields. So now you basically have 2 O-line coaches working with the tackles on one field and another coach working with the guards on another. Then you have 2 other coaches on the other field doing the same exact thing. I think that people don't understand how that helps.
So where's the centers at? They with the guards.
I mean, you basically talking interior, and our center. Carson Hinsman, a lot of people said that he played guard better than he played center. So, I mean, to be honest, I think what you have is you got guys who are interchangeable, and Ryan Day said that guys are going to be working at more than one position, sometimes more than 2 positions. And what this does is this gives you are allowed to now be able to say, hey, instead of us playing our chess pieces and moving those around and seeing how those work in season, now we know how they'll work in the off season. So now we got this combination. Hold on. We got this combination. We got this combination if this guy goes down. We got this combination. Now you already got your combinations of what you feel your strength is. This combination is strength here. This combination is strength here. If this goes down, and now you can rank those out. So that way you can have you learn it from last year, right? Because you just said it wasn't Austin Saraville who was at left tackle. We brought in Zen Mahalski after Josh Simmons went down. After Josh Simmons went down in the Oregon game, that's who we brought. He wasn't ready. But now you go ahead. Imagine if we had went ahead and got him those reps in the offseason and put him in that position. And now he's ready for that moment.
One more thing. This for you. Your name, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw this report that Kayla Downs, he might be playing nickel. The blown turn. So how do y'all feel about the safety room now? Since they best player, they asking him, we want you to play nickel every single the single game and all three downs. How the or maybe sometimes a fourth down. That's telling me that they trying to stack the box more, but like they did 21 and 22 seats the season. And I know this the last time they did stack the box, but defense. But those 2 years, it cost them some games that they should have won, or we all know that 22, the Michigan team, we all just outmatched regardless.
So what I think is going on, I think what it speaks on is how versatile Caleb Downs can be, and I think that it can also help him in his draft stock as well. You going and showing that you could play nickel slot and cover a slot receiver. I think what it also speaks to is how strong our safety room is right now. That you want to say, hey, our best player, let's take who we thought we were going to have at nickel. Let's take him off the field. Put Caleb down there, and our best 11 will be those other two safeties as first time pure starters or whatever. But I think that this is more of a package thing versus a permanent thing. And that's the thing about Matt Patricia and what he said is this defense can be week to week. 1 week you might see Caleb Downs at nickel. The next week you might not. You might see the safety duo being Caleb Downs and Jalen McClain, or Caleb Downs and Malik Hartford out there together. And then you might have in the nickel position, you might have Lorenzo Stahl or Bryce West. I think
don't let Bryce West get in that field, boy. That's real trouble. That's real
definitely.
trouble.
But I think that what we are hearing out of camp, even from listening to the linebacker room, is Matt Patricia is using a lot of guys and trying to maximize their skill set. So I like it. If you're maximizing Caleb's down skill set, he seems to like it. I like it. I got no issues with it.
Because he be a Mikey Stamen still level, Nico, even though that he playing for Ryan Day, because he be that good at nickel, just like Mikey was.
I think he's gonna be better
he would have to come back his sophomore, his senior year.
I don't think Caleb Downs needs to come back at all, bro. I mean, it's already what the scouts are saying. I think he has enough film out there to show that he does not have to come back for another season, man. But yeah.
All right, Tim, man, we gotta get to the
Even
next.
if y'all lost in the semis and he wanted another ring,
nah, he gonna get the second one to dip out.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, man. Hey, you let everybody know where they can find you, bro.
Y'all can find me on my YouTube channel. It's called the Thunder Wetman YouTube show. I currently have 204 subscribers. I'm on my way to having 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So,
shoot, man, we appreciate you jumping in here, man. You'll get there. Thank you, bro. I'll talk to you soon. Shoot. That's Tim, everybody. Well, before we continue, message here from the voice of college football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brands on the next level by partnering with the voice of college football, and let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. The voice of college football is a growing network with a large following, so let's find out how we can help you grow with us. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, posted here on the screen, and we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@bocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships@bocfb.com today. All right, Mike, or read some of these comments. I had a few in here. that I wanted to bring up. Johnny, I see you in here, man. Just make sure you keep it respectful, keep it ball, and just know that yeah, like I said there in this chat, you get nothing. So yeah, I just want to make sure you know that. Mike, there's something else I want to talk to you about before we get to Rob here. Ohio State's big game scheduling. So Ohio State's biggest games this year: Texas, Penn State, team up north, will all be at noon. But the Penn State game will be a blackout in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day, yeah. Darkness in the day.
I would, bro. I know we're at home, but I would rather wear the all white jerseys that day if we're gonna do that.
Yeah,
I mean, what are your thoughts on that, man? 20, and I think since Big Noon started, 25 Big Noon games, 14 night games.
I mean, ain't nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. We just gotta keep rolling with it, man. And I just know this. All this is gonna do is just gonna add more fuel to the fire. And when Russ Bjork and the Big Ten has those renegotiations and they're looking for Ohio State to sign, and we're like, hey, we don't believe that everybody should. There's way too much evidence and way too much data to say, hey, we should be, if we're going to continue to go to this and we have to continue to lead this conference in Big Noon games, we need major portion of this pie.
Yeah.
Flat out. I mean, if we're sacrificing not being able to get our recruits to primetime games, not being able to have them come to these games and see it at night. Remember, we even heard some of these kids don't even get a chance to come just because they can't make a noon game the way the travel schedule is and everything once they get done with a game playing Friday. So, I mean, it just is what it is, man. We got 5 years. So 2029, 2030, that's when we should be expecting some news. But other than that, we just got to deal with it, man. It is what it is.
For sure.
We'll be talking about this every offseason.
All right, well, let's bring our next guy from the Buckeye Battle Cry Show with Pete, everybody. My guy, Rob. What's going on, bro?
Not much. Just soaking up the sun in Oklahoma. It is 102 degrees here, man.
Nope.
Being by that pool in the backyard, really nice. But it's another great day to be a play-in national champion. But remember that Joe Garrison, the video where they were talking about how Ohio State was actually a play-in national champion?
Yeah.
But man, I'm glad you guys brought up Big Ten noon kickoff. That's just so my wife and I, we have this tradition where we go to the Penn State Ohio State game each year, and literally this Big Ten noon kickoff contract is killing the experience. Like last year, there was
nasty.
I was hoping it was going to be a whiteout game. Would have been just great to be able to experience that. I mean, it's already as loud as possible during a day game, but no, it's got to be a noon game. And that was like what a top 5 matchup. And then you have, I mean, this year, I was excited that it was announced to be a blackout game the day after Halloween, but now we're getting reports that it's going to be a noon game. It's killing the experience for a lot of fans. And plus, like you guys brought up the recruits. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a West Coast kid wanting to come to a big game for Ohio State, but it turns out that big game is at noon, and due to the time difference, I'm literally getting on a plane at like 3-4 in the morning, and just to be able to get there, experience just the atmosphere, and just okay, the game's over, now I gotta leave because I gotta watch film and practice and stuff. So man, it's killing me, man. But so you guys said that there is a certain contract, like how many years, or did not specify?
I believe the end of the contract or when the renegotiations will start is like year 2029, 2030, I believe. So.
Hey, wait a second. Aaron says the player's gonna be hot. Some black beauties in the morning, bro. It's gonna be hot as well.
I don't
I didn't
know.
think
Like
about that.
It's
I didn't think
it, it's
about.
up north. I ain't expecting it to. It the game's
it's
in
gonna.
like what September, October.
Yeah,
It's November
So,
1st.
oh, November. It's not
Yeah,
about to be
November
hot.
man,
1st.
that's
But
pretty
It's not
still,
about to
man,
be
like
hot.
the day after Halloween, a night game, a blackout, dude. That and plus, like again for recruits, nothing better than that.
Yeah,
But
I think the biggest thing is why is Fox scared to compete with ESPN, right? Because yes, Big Noon is your, you want it to be your prime time, right? But week one, there's other prime time games, that's not as big as Ohio State. Why not go ahead and say, hey, we're going to double down on it on one single day. We're going to pick a primetime game to have at noon, and then we're going to put Ohio State on what, FS1 at night? Would that not be
bro.
lit?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, it's not
Why are they scared to compete?
Like Joe Klatt and those guys, like him and Gus. Y'all have to be at noon. Like, you guys wouldn't want a prime time game because, like, bro, that Ohio State Texas number would technically would do numbers. Numbers.
That's what I'm saying. Compete with the SEC.
The
Make
SEC would
people.
never, Mike and Rob. They would never let this happen.
nah, man, I just and plus, dude, talking about Texas, like they wouldn't take a night game just in general. They saw the playoff game against Tennessee at night, and they're just like, well, it's a wrap. We don't.
Well,
They
I
got
don't.
scared.
I don't blame Texas. I mean, I know a lot of people, jokingly. Okay, I understand, but I don't blame Texas at all. Honestly, when the whole, oh, do you want to move it to Sunday? I don't think that people understand the logistics. Months in advance that goes with moving a hundred plus personnel people, the hotel accommodations, getting the food to get like all of those things. Also, Texas has season ticket holders and a fan base that they have to appeal to as well, right? So now, if as a person, if we go and we like to tailgate and we drive in the RV from Austin all the way up to Columbus, that's a 2-day trip, right? Now, if I'm leaving on Sunday, I already planned I'm going to probably miss Monday, right? If I'm leaving Columbus on Sunday. So then I'm getting to work on Tuesday. Now you push the game Sunday. I'm traveling on Monday. What am I going to work Tuesday? I can't work
Yeah.
Tuesday, so people got to think about those type of things, man.
Yeah, I'm just talking smack against Texas. I got to, man. They come on, the Michigan channels saying how they're gonna beat up on us, and I'm like, all right, man. But before I get out of here, just one more thing I wanted to address is I think a lot of people are getting this quarterback battle just blown out of proportion. I mean, I live in Michigan, born and raised in well, pretty much 20, 25 minutes
Where's your
outside
degree at? Where's your degree at?
Michigan.
Damn.
But yeah, dude, I drove to the spring game, and just there was just a big difference between Julian Sane and Logan Keenholz. I thought Julian Sane was more efficient, more accurate. I mean, that release is just unreal, just so quick to get the ball out. And just being able to see him command that offense down the field. And from just looking at the stats too, I was like, man, I could be wrong, but I think Julian Sane separated himself the competition. And people are just like, they're getting dazed comments, just again blown out of proportion. I mean, we talked about this last week, Garrison. There's always been a quarterback battle till the end, but also it could be in the back of Ryan Day's mind that, okay, Julian Sane's gonna be the starter, but I want to push this dude to the limit because like I want him ready and to go, and have him just not think, okay, I got this in the bags. And plus, like, competition is good. Like I think it's important to push your players to the limit, especially being the quarterback at Ohio State, to the very last second. And plus, like, I don't know if you guys seen the tape of his his long balls compared to Keenholz's long balls, I saw a difference. I mean, Julian Sane hits them and hits his receivers in stride. And what I saw from Keenholz is that sometimes the receiver is just like kind of like waiting there for a second, and the second could be like huge in terms of coverage, and he doesn't really hit them in stride. So, I mean, Keenholz he's a great athlete. I mean, he's pretty much do anything, but I just think at the end of the day that I think Julian's in the back of Ryan Day's mind. Julian Sane is going to be the starter.
That was a concern that I had out of the spring game, and the difference that I also saw in the spring game was that when Julian's throwing the guys, that he's able to hit them in stride, and Lincoln, even though he was hitting his target, and I wouldn't say that the ball was just getting out late. It's like the ball is behind guys sometimes, or the guy got to like kind of slow down in his route to or whatever. So hopefully it's something that they can work through. But like you said, you want, guys being pushed. I do hope that maybe after this first scrimmage, this Saturday, we hear that there is some separation, but I'm expecting to hear some news after the second scrimmage. So not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, I believe that we should be naming our quarterback and moving forward and letting them get chemistry and build the chemistry to go on and do some amazing things.
Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick. I only take so much out of the spring games, but the one thing I did get out of it was that with games for Lincoln, right? I think you're gonna look at something that's kind of like 2023 with Kyle McCord, where the game he has to get into a rhythm and it's going to take him a quarter or two to get into it. I think that that's what it's going to be with Lincoln. The other side of it is that you do have his legs that you can still work with, right? But Julian Sand, of course, coming out of high school, everyone has known him to be hyper accurate. That's what he is. Quick release. Deep ball does hit more in stride. I will give him that. He does have more of a he's got to dip a little bit more on those deep balls than Lincoln does, but he's still more accurate than he does because he's just not as strong as Lincoln is. Lincoln's a big body, right? But even though Julian, they talk, he's 6'1",
he's 210 now.
Yeah, he's bigger. He's way bigger than Bryce Young. I call him Caucasian Bryce, but I do think that there's a chance that right now Ryan Day does know who he's going to pick at quarterback, but I want to. It's right here. Sharice brings this up right here. I'm sorry, Aaron does. I also think Coach Day doesn't want to give up anything to Texas yet. I agree with that. I don't think Ryan Day is going to name the starter until a week, maybe a few days, maybe a few days for that game. So, what do you say, Rob?
I was just saying, I'm really glad that he put on some weight. I mean, didn't he come in at 180, 190? Now he's 210, dude. I mean, that's huge. I mean, the dude has wheels, so I can imagine he's going to be taken off, and so he did need to put up some weight so he doesn't get broken in half. So,
yeah, man, he's just a Cali boy, What can you do?
Yeah, definitely. But all right, you guys, thanks for having me on, and everybody else who's in the chat, you can find my co-host Peter and I at Buckeyes Battle Cry. But all right,
IO,
appreciate you, Rob.
Yep.
That's our guy Rob from Buckeyes Battle Cry. Make sure you guys will check him and Pete out. A few things in here, Mike, hold to read. AOI, man. Hey, relax. I live here. Relax. This is Michigan dirty. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, Mike. Sometimes it's tough being a Michigan-born Buckeye, man. I gotta I walk a fine line, bro. I walk a fine line.
It'd be all right after November. It'd be all right.
Yeah, no. Come November, I'm painting the town scarlet. I'm going all through the city. Day 1K, man, he says Ohio State hasn't been outmatched by Michigan teams since segregation.
I mean, he does have a point.
That Jim Crow football.
He does have a point. If you go back and just do the math, basic math.
Like, earlier today, some Wolverine fans are trying to talk because my guy, college football Sam, he was a bunch of Wolverine fans get mad at him because he's. Can he have his biases? Yes, but he tries to be as unbiased as possible. He's like, he runs a Big Ten college football channel. And he flat out just said, Michigan does not have the same program as Ohio State. It's not relatively like a thing for him. And you know, a bunch of
I
Wolverine
think
fans,
last year showed that. What
yes.
you followed the Natty up with going
Mhm.
freaking 8-5. I don't think that Ohio State would ever do that.
Well, I tell them all the time, like their program, Mike, it's beholden to us. Like Ohio State will be good no matter what. And you know, I brought up 1997 as a fact. Like Ohio State, when we lose to you, we're still damn good. We can't say the same for you. We've been to 5 national championships in 25 in a quarter century. And I know that a lot of Wolverine fans get upset saying, oh, well, since 2000. Well, guess what, guys? A quarter century is a long time. That's a long time. And I just find it funny that they think they're actually – there's only like – and, you know, yeah, shout out to our boy Grimm. Like he says, if you're not Alabama, you can't talk to Ohio State.
Yeah, you really can't. If you ain't Alabama, I really ain't got nothing to hear from you because, like, yeah, I could say, you know, LSU, even though they've won, it's like they'll win, and then it's like you don't hear from them no more.
Right.
You know? Then they got to get a new coach. And let's see what Florida, they've been a dumpster fire since Urban left.
Yeah.
Georgia, what took them 40 years.
Time,
you know,
man.
they just and they're just now getting back here. So
they lost to Notre Dame.
I mean, they ain't even have they ain't even had a top production. I don't really.
I ain't gonna do it to them. That's still,
but
that's
I mean,
Georgia.
Yeah, it's just nobody has been as consistent as Ohio State. You know, when it comes to continuously being a top program and being a top 5, top 3 program, always being ranked, other than the year of sanctions and you know, interim coach.
And Ive Manziel says Jay Butt said Jelani Thurman was cooking in practice. Man,
it just takes me back. 11 Warriors didn't even have him on a depth chart, and I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like me and you have been talking about Matt Clare and Jelani Thurman as a dynamic duo this upcoming season. So I have no idea why folks are, you know, sleeping on Jelani. It was just when is the light bulb going to click for Jelani thing that we've been waiting on.
You know, Jelani, you know, he was was he a top 5 tight end coming out of high school? Top 10 maybe? And
I'm not sure, yeah.
Well, but I mean, he has all the physical potential in the world. You know, he's built like a basketball player. What, 6 foot? Is he 6'5", 6'6"?
Bro, dude, tall
like
as heck. And all I know, he was going viral because he was a Spider-Man dude that was wearing a Spidey costume going viral.
Yeah. And you know, he was, I mean, what, 263 last year. Now he's down to 258, so lost some weight. But what I really enjoyed about him is his development at the position. You know, 2 years ago, let's be honest here, it did kind of questionable with him. You know, we didn't know what we had. We were expecting more out of him. But then last year, Mike, Jelani Thurman can block. If anybody didn't know that. And I mean, he can block. I think he last year he did a great job, especially in goal line situations last year up for the football team. And then you know, did he have a little? His hands were a little. You know, I remember. I always think back to that one pass against Penn State. It was like 3rd and long, and Will made what's his nuts miss. Abdul Carter miss. Throws the ball to him, and he's just sitting there bobbling the ball. I couldn't believe he caught it, to be honest with you. But we going from that, Mike, to him doing that shit. I mean, to like, I mean, do you see Lincoln? You see Lincoln in the background doing this when you threw it? That was actually a really good throw by Lincoln too. But
I mean, that's just the thing, man. Also, you know, when you know you're the guy and you're not just always the last option, because I mean, Will Howard even said that Jelani was the last option on that route. So it's like when you know that you're not the last option, when you know stuff like that, when you're expecting the ball more, you know, it's just it's a different feel to it, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different feel versus I'm running this route not expecting to really get the ball versus I'm running this route knowing I'm about to get this ball. That is different, man. And like I said, we just been waiting on the light bulb to click for Jelani. Glad it has.
And earlier in the show, you brought this up plenty of times. Ohio State going into 12 personnel. I think that people know with the wide receiver unit we have, and the tendencies of Ryan Day, and with Brian Hartline being the OC now as the wide receivers coach, I think people think he's have a tendency to just throw the ball. Where in reality,
go back and look at 20. What was that? Is it 2020? Go back and look at 2020. Luke Farrell, Jeremy Rucker, red zone. Ryan Day also said that we was working on short yardage. So yeah, that's when I think you should be expecting that type of stuff. Like red zone. I think you should be expecting that. Because I think it's better mismatches. And you talking about Jelani. One thing that I do think that Lincoln does a really good job of is throwing a jump ball, like throwing the ball up. And if you got a 6'5" tight end, who's jumping with that?
By the way,
too many linebackers.
Yeah. And by the way, I forgot to bring this up actually. Speaking of tight ends, I was not expecting this, and I think this says a lot. Where I feel like we shouldn't be surprised by this based off his recruiting profile. Top 10 tight end out of last year's class, Nate Roberts was his black stripe, and I think that he lost it this early because I thought that there's still other guys like Max LeBlanc and other guys in the class in the room. Shout out to Keenan Bailey for getting that recruitment done. Been a really good tight end coach also, but I think Nate Roberts might see the field this season.
No,
and I don't. No. Hear what I mean, and I don't mean in situations like during play, like when the games actually being played. But I think when it's time to get in the goal line situations, because I think before you have a tight end catch the ball, you gotta learn how to block. But I think that for him to lose his black stripe this early, because I don't even think Max LeBlanc lost his black stripe this early, his freshman.
So you're going to put him over. So you're going to put him in on a goal line situation to a freshman to go block, and you got Benny Christian and Will Kazmarek, who you're going to put him over them.
I forgot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
hey, this might be the best.
It's not just like you got Max Clare, you got Jelani sitting there. That's probably your best receiving threats. But your best blocking, even Keenan Bailey said, is Will Kazmarek, and then right behind him is probably Benny Christian. So I think it's a red shirt year for Nate Roberts, or you'll see him on special teams, things like that, or just getting in the game, later. So
let's have a conversation real quick. Does Ohio State have the best tight end room in the country?
It could sneakily be. It's just depending on. We don't use our tight ends like that. That's the issue, man. That's the issue.
Unless your name is Cade Stover.
But I wanted to. Did you watch the linebackers interviews? Did you watch James Laurinaitis interview?
I haven't watched. I saw Arbel's. I still gotta watch his. What's up? Tell me about it.
Man, he dropped the nugget. So, where did James Laurinaitis coach at before he came to Ohio State?
I don't remember.
Where was James Laurinaitis right before he came to Ohio State? We got him from. He was coaching with his best friend, Marcus Freeman.
Oh, he was at. Was it Notre Dame or Cincinnati?
Yeah, he was at Notre Dame. James Laurinaitis was at Notre Dame. You remember who the DC was at Notre Dame? Al Golden.
Yeah. Oh, it was Al. Yeah.
Guess who Al Golden worked with? Back in Detroit.
Matt Patricia.
And so
I'm listening now.
So James Laurinaitis said, that Matt Patricia is doing some of the similar things that Al Golden did, right? Now, here's my question to you all in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Notre Dame didn't have the type of talent that Ohio State has, but they still had a top 10 defense.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think this defense can be I mean, because my thing is like, I mean, and if that's who Al Golden was learning from, now you got the master of it.
I love my team. I love my coaches. I love my program. I gotta watch that interview. I gotta watch that. Before we bring our next caller here, everybody, shout out to Sharice Armistead. She goes, "It's great to be here at Ohio State, the Voice of College Show." Almost definitely, everybody. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't before. Also, go ahead and share it out there, whether it be on your Facebook, your X account, Instagram, or wherever you may be. And also, if you want to, as you should, the Voice of College Football also is on Instagram. If you're just catching up here to join the show, you need to you want to listen to the rest of it. Also, you want to listen to the Mike show up on Wednesday on the World Famous Buckeye show, or Ohio State Prime Time with myself on Monday. You can catch us on any streaming audio streaming, which would be Spotify, Amazon, or Apple. Also, if you know, listen, I'm working on some stuff right now, everybody. Mike, I gotta tell you, I'll text it to you later. But no, if you want to be a member here, press that join button and hit one of our memberships, whether it be the JT wasn't short because it wasn't the Block Gold Club, and we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. Let's bring up our last caller here, K and the Diesel. How you doing, man?
It's been a while, Garrison. What's going on, Mike? Good to hear from you as always, brother. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Yeah,
good,
man.
doing good. How you doing?
First of all, let me address the amazing blue boys in here, Blue Wolverine and Johnny Olden. Sit on down, boys, because I'm about to cook y'all right now. So you boys want to be complaining online, you want to be talking all this garbage. Well, you guys haven't won. Well, let's be honest, Michigan hasn't won a championship in a quarter of a century. So you boys can sit on down because the big boys are back at the table feasting. And Mike, I think you can agree, Ohio State's schedule, isn't really much of a competition in there. I mean, come on. Texas at week 1 at home. Matt Patricia's our defensive coordinator. Do you know how much carnage them boys are going to be causing up in there? Dude, this is going to be wild.
Okay, what so far in like the fall, right? What are you like? All the things that are coming out. What are you most interested in?
Garrison, you know, I'm going to tell you this. Our defense this year is going to be a lot better than last year. There's going to be a lot more picks. There's going to be a lot more sacks. There's going to be a lot more turnovers.
Mike?
And I'm going to tell you that
Michael said
defense.
the same thing, Caden. He said the same thing for months now. He said that.
And I'm going to tell you, defense wins championships. And our defense is about to win us another national championship. And it ain't going to be pretty, but we got to get the job done. And that's the bottom line. Notre Dame can't get the, and I'll say this to Notre Dame fans. They ain't going to get a job done either. They ain't going to beat us. And they dang sure ain't going to win a national championship as long as we're sitting at the top of the mountain. Because they know they do not have the gall, they don't have the talent to beat us on a high level. Let's be honest. And Mike, I'm just cooking these boys, so just let me keep on feasting and cooking these boys. I'm about to barbecue these boys a little more.
Yeah, put hibachi style in
I was
the
gonna
chat. Hibachi style. Go ahead, man.
And now that these fans want to talk about our schedule being easy, well, that's because the Big Ten doesn't want us to give anybody else destruction because they know this defense is going to absolutely destroy anybody that comes across us. Arch Manning, he wants to say he's the hottest thing right now. Well, he's about to be dead cold when we go through his boys right in Ohio Stadium. Noon, them boys are going to be locked in and they ain't going to be able to get out of that stadium. Because our defense is going to be cooking them boys all day long in the house.
Caden, actually, I'm pretty sure I saw this. Ohio State got voted one of the hardest schedules in college football.
Hardest?
One of them. I mean, you got to think about it this way.
Mhm.
You still got a top 5 matchup in Texas. Probably gonna be a top 3 matchup in Texas. Illinois is on the road. Still, it's gonna be a top 20, a top 15 matchup at that point. By then you got Penn State. It's gonna be a top 5 matchup, and then you're gonna have the Wolverines, who are top 15 right now. So, I mean, for anybody else, that would be considered a tough schedule.
I'd rather be seeing Iowa State in the house than Penn State. Like, come on. At least Iowa State's a lot tougher team than Penn State right now. I mean, come on.
You think Iowa State's tougher than Penn State?
I've been watching the Big 12, Garrison. I've been watching the Big 12. Y'all can give me hate about it, but I've been watching them kids over there. So don't be hating me in the comments. And I know Johnny Yoda's down there laughing his guts out. But I'm going to tell you, the highway to hell, November 29th, is not going to be an excuse, little boy. So I think you better grab an extra set of tissues because you're going to need it. Because when them boys are locked in that Hirsch on November 29th and sit on the highway to hell, you ain't going to be laughing after that. So I'd be careful about what you wish, little boy.
Nah, I'll tell you what, there ain't nothing better than in Columbus, Ohio, man, when it's third down and you hear that bell tower go for hell bus. Ain't nothing better than that. But shoot, man, before we get out of here, Katie, you want to leave the people with anything?
I do got one little piece of advice for little Johnny Olden down here, mama's little boy, in the comments. As an old friend of mine likes to say, you're a little too light in the ass to step up to an OG Buckeye, son. You heard me right. You heard me right. Let me remind everybody in the comments, you don't come up into Columbus thinking it's going to be an easy game. You just wrote yourself a death sentence to get your butt kicked and your carcass barbecued by the baddest men walking this earth. And you thought Georgia was bad? They're second to us.
We can't talk about Georgia. We can't talk about Georgia.
Hold on, Garrison. Let me keep going. Let me keep going, Garrison.
Okay, we gotta beat them first.
Come on.
All right, you got 30 seconds.
But I'm gonna leave it with you, this boys. Johnny Olden, you need to lighten up in the ass, son. You need to lighten up in the ass.
Pause.
So I'm gonna leave it to you boys. But go Bucks and Mike. Catch you later, my old son.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Big
major
pause.
Pause.
Man, before we got out of here, man, I'm gonna read some of these last comments. Shout out to Dylan Cases. I want to see Downson use like Le'Veon Bell, use that old tight end experience. Hey, man, remember that one day they talked about it, man. That boy had he played wide receiver down in South Florida. He was like that. I was actually surprised to hear that when Jeremiah and Brandon said that. I was actually really surprised to hear about that, honestly. Let me see what else we got here. Yeah, Mike said Hibachi style. That was funny. Yeah, hey, Johnny, man, looks like you need to go hit some squats, bro. You're a little light in the ass.
Somebody tried to cook my G Scott. It sounded like they don't watch film.
Oh no! You gotta watch the film. You gotta watch it. I might go out of the way. I agree. Oklahoma's gonna beat them.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's gonna beat them. I know a lot of people are saying, talking about Oklahoma's offense of last year, but I mean, it's mostly surface level. If you didn't know that they had like 4 to 5 of their starting skill guys out last year, who will be playing. They had some walk-ons out there last year as well. So I think that they'll be doing better on offense. And their defense is still there. Also, isn't it at OU as well?
Yeah,
and but OU ain't a hard place. I mean, we beat OU at OU too. So
it ain't
like that.
It ain't like that. No, but they don't got Michigan also don't got Buckeye talent.
True.
And I think a lot of Wolverine fans actually don't know. And Johnny, you need to do your homework. I think a lot of y'all don't know about that Oklahoma defense. I think a lot of y'all need to go do some homework on that. But look, everybody, we're gonna get going here. So just to remind everybody, on Monday you can catch me at 7 p.m. here on the Voice College Show for the Ohio State Primetime Show. At 11 on Wednesday, you can catch Mark and them for the Ohio State show. At 7:30 on Wednesday, make sure you tune in with Mike and Terry for the world famous Buckeye show. Mike, I did get it. I got to catch it this morning, man. Great show. That was a great show, actually. I was about this morning. I was on my run this morning.
Appreciate
And then,
it.
for sure. And then everybody, as always, OH.
IO.